Welcome back, guys. Today I've got a quote that I heard. It was actually a clip from Gary Vee, and I heard it last week, and it really just had me thinking a lot. I reflected on it a lot, and wanted to share it with you guys. And so here's the quote that he said in the clip. There are two ways to build the biggest building in town. You either build the biggest building, or you spend all your time tearing down everyone else's building. And it really hit me hard to think about that. You know, there are two ways to do this, right? You either focus on yourself and your brand, your company, your life, and just continue to build and worry about no, you're still obviously helping those around you, but you're worried about building your biggest company or your biggest business, or worried about your family. Or you can tear other people's stuff down, try and attack your competitors, or gossip and tear down other people to make yourself feel better. And those are the two ways to build the biggest building. But I mean, I feel honestly, to think of it that way, to think that a way of lifting yourself up to making yourself the biggest or the best is tearing others down or tearing other businesses down, is just a sad way to think that is a way people do look at it. And it made me really think about, sometimes I get in that competitive mode and I'm like, how can I just beat this business or do better than this person? And there are healthy ways in that and there are unhealthy ways in that. And it just had me realizing that I need to make sure that I am focusing on just making, like for example, making Crawford's Pizza the best restaurant that it can be. If I just focus on making it the best, the customers will come, the business will come. There's plenty of business for everybody. It's not allowing myself to get consumed by the fact that another competitor might come to the area or something like that. I need to just not worry about that. I need to focus on building my business, worried about helping out my team, worried about my family and growing my family. And just reflecting on all that, it's just sad that there are people that focus on the other side. They want to just tear others down or worry about somebody else's family or somebody else's business or what somebody else is doing. And that's just such an unhealthy way to look at it. And I just really like this quote, the way it puts it, of just, you can either worry about building yourself up or tearing somebody down. Those are the two ways. And it just makes me think of negativity and jealousy and selfishness that are just destructive traits to have, not only in business but in your life. And we are called to be people of community and help each other and push each other. And competition is fine. That's great. And I think you do need to have a level of competition to keep yourself sharp. I mean, I always think of Proverbs 27:17 as iron sharpens iron, so one friend sharpens another. That's one of my favorite verses, because if I was the only, say for the gym, if we were the only gym in town and we're building this facility, would we really be building it as big as we are, or putting in as much effort into the programming or the equipment as we are if we were the only gym? Probably not. So the competition side is good, but us focusing on our gym and what we're going to do at RTB and this building in Forsyth and all the programs that we're going to be offering and building up our team, as opposed to worried about what other gyms are doing, is just a great perspective for me, and a good refresher for me right now as we're going into the season of building up this new gym and building this business, and worrying about Crawford's as well, as we know there's more competition for restaurants coming to Forsyth in the near future and things like that. Instead of worrying about what business they could take from us, I need to be focusing on how I make our business better and give the best customer experience and the best experience for our team to be working at Crawford's, so that way they want to work with us and for us.
Yeah, one thing that I read, I can't remember where I read it, but it said something along the lines of jealousy is expensive.
Yeah.
And
that
every
makes
minute
sense.
every minute you watch, other competitors, or, times where you're not spent improving your own business or your own relationships, health, mindset, you're wasting it on somebody else, and it can be expensive because
Yeah.
you're losing money on your own business when you can't grow your own.
Oh yeah, exactly. I
You
mean,
focus somewhere else.
oh for sure. I mean, if you are putting your time and effort, like this quote was really making me think of, I find myself sometimes looking at the competition and maybe not being very positive towards them. If I put that energy into just making Crawford's better or just making the gym better, then that's going to a not cost me anything, and plus it's not inviting that negativity in, or the jealousy in, and that's just those are such destructive traits, and
Well, yeah, I mean, and the energy that you're putting in. I mean, everybody has a limited amount of energy,
sure.
so it's limited. So it's either you can build yourself, or you can focus on somebody else, and you can focus on the jealousy or hate. But you can't do both.
Right.
Like,
Well,
you can't do both at the same
and
time
you can
successfully.
control your own actions, right?
Yeah.
So if you're putting that your effort, you can control your effort and your actions. If you're pouring that into just making yourself better, making your family better, making your business better, making your own life better, as opposed to worrying about putting any sort of effort or energy into negativity and trying to tear others down, or sure, there's been places that have stolen ideas we've had or copied ideas that we have. Who cares? Whatever. It's not like we were the first one to ever do it anyways, so whatever. If they want to copy us, I need to be able to just let that stuff go and just focus on, okay, now how do we just do it better? How do I just help our team execute it better?
Yeah, I mean, and you don't look stronger by
No,
focusing on
nobody wants
others.
to listen
No one's
to
gonna think that.
a successful business owner trash talk another business. You don't
Yeah.
gain respect that way. You don't get more opportunities. It's not like a business owner is gonna look at somebody that's trash talking another business and say, "Oh, I want to do business with them someday."
Right.
You
And
know.
I think that's the worst part right now with this whole social media, I'd say uprising. It's been around for a while now, but that's the worst part about it is, it's super easy to fall into that jealousy,
It
hate,
is.
whatever that may be, by seeing other people. But then it's also just as easy to hit that, post button, and you see so many businesses, so many business owners, you know, kind of not fail and fail in certain ways, I guess. Yeah, because they're focusing on other people, having that easy chance to just
Sure.
post something that's
Sure.
cover their
I've seen
reputation.
business owners in recent weeks post something negative about another business, and I just think you're a business owner and you're posting something negative about another business, whether it's merited or not. That's unprofessional. You shouldn't be doing that. There's plenty of businesses that I have snoozed on social media that I followed because I think that they're taking an unprofessional approach to handling certain things, or they're being very boastful about their personal success, as opposed to, I mean, I'm a big believer in being a humble business owner,
Yeah.
because my belief is, I mean, Crawford's Pizza, the restaurants, the properties, they're all God's anyways. They're not mine. I'm just supposed to be a good steward and use them to hopefully have an impact on my community, have a positive impact on my family, those around me, and use those resources to further his kingdom. So when I see an owner that's, look at what I did, or I did this, I did that, instead of talking negative about them, which I mean, I'm guilty of doing, and this quote made me think of, okay, I need to not do that. But instead, just ignore them,
Yeah.
snooze them, hide them, unfollow, whatever. Just don't let it be something that you worry about. Why would that's why I just took the approach of, okay, I just need to start unfollowing or snoozing those people or whatever, so that way I don't even see it, because I don't want to give it any of my energy. I want to put all the energy I have into making my businesses better and helping those around me, and pouring into that, as opposed to inviting jealousy and negativity and selfishness in, because that stuff, like I said, it's just so destructive.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen too, from you and Hill, you guys are very, I would say, I guess, quiet people when it comes to building your businesses. And you've kind of shown that being quiet can be powerful in a way too, because even we're family with you guys, but you don't sit there and hey, we're going to do this, this, this. We're going to add this, this, and this. When we see you guys, it's, we'll ask you questions, or you might, say something you're excited about. But
Sure.
you're never, very boastful people when it comes to your success or things you have coming or
Sure.
growing. And I think that shows a lot in business owners as well.
Yeah, I mean, you have to stay humble. I mean, the really awesome people want to work for awesome owners and awesome leaders. And they want to get credit for when they accomplish things, and being humble and giving credit. I mean, Hill and I are well aware we could not do all the things that we accomplished without the amazing team at Crawford's and Maroa and Crawford's and Moequa, at the gym, Austin with the properties. We couldn't do all the things we do without those amazing people that are so involved. I mean, for example, in Moequa, our GM recently has been sick for a couple weeks with pneumonia, and so many people stepped up. I mean, didn't even have to ask. They just automatically stepped up. And that's just a respect thing, because Hill and I, obviously we do our best to treat our people as well as we can, but also they know that we're humble in the fact that we will take care of them. We will thank them a lot. We will show that appreciation. And that goes a long way for people, especially when they're looking for somebody to follow.
Right. And, that just shows the kind of, leaders that you guys are. And, I mean, I think we both believe that's probably the correct way to go about it. And so many people fail at that and, lose staff. And you hear about all situations like
Sure.
that because they don't, they're not, good trainers and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important that you take time to, you don't have to go out and party with your employees or anything like
Right.
that, but having a relationship and knowing and showing that you care and checking on them, things like that, it just goes a long way with people wanting to be a part of your team. And, this quote had me thinking, well, I want to leave a great legacy for my family and my community. So when I was thinking about, okay, well, definitely don't want the legacy of I tore people down or tore buildings down to get some extra success or look successful by any means. I don't want that legacy. I want a legacy of righteousness with God for my family. I want a legacy of being a good, positive leader that lifted others up and was a great husband and great father and cared about his community and being involved in his community. So you can't be out there trash talking people or other businesses. You have to be the one that rises above that. And it's hard at times. It definitely, you can get sucked into that vortex of gossip and it's really hard to get out of it sometimes. And I know that's something that we have all talked about, kind of as a family at times, is it's easy to get in that mode, but having other people you trust keep you accountable to keep you out of it, I think, is also important. People that will be honest because they care about you and know what your goals are and can give you that feedback in a proper manner, not calling you out in a rude way. That's just going to make you defensive, right?
Right, yeah.
I think, just to wrap this up, I think that anybody that is listening should really just listen to that quote. And, a huge shout out to Gary Vee. I like a lot of his stuff, and this is one of the ones that I've really liked the most. But just really think about how you want to be known for your success, and just worry about building the biggest building yourself with your team, and don't focus on tearing other buildings down. Really focus on building up yourself with knowledge and learning and growing, reading, taking in positive things with, podcasts and things like that, and use that as your leverage to continue to grow and become better, and just focus on building the tallest building in town and not tearing down other people.